Oliver with Three Stripe Management, talking to you today about neighbor disputes and how to resolve them. In June of 2013, FindLaw.com conducted a survey of American homeowners and discovered 4 of 10 have had to deal with neighbor dispute and resolution issues. And of that, nearly half, 48%, are related to noise. The other 50% is composed of those very things you might imagine: pets and animals, children behavior, visual nuisances, or property boundary issues. There are 3 escalating stages you can take that we highly recommend you follow in an effort to resolve these disputes. The first and most important is diplomacy, to try and connect with your neighbor, connect with the person creating the infraction, and resolving it person to person. The second is mediation, and the third and final is litigation. So what do those things look like? Well, there are 6 steps that we recommend you take before you follow those stages of escalation. The first is discovering if a violation has occurred. Review your governing documents, the association's codes, covenants, restrictions, maybe house rules or regulations that specifically address and pertain to the violation at hand. If a violation has occurred, cite the specific article. If a violation has not occurred, it changes what those next steps look like. Step 2, talk with your neighbor. Diplomacy, going back to that, connecting and communicating with the individual creating the problem. Just go and talk to them. Go to their door, knock on it, slip them a note, give them a phone call. Just try to connect with that person directly. If that doesn't work, you can write a letter, write an email, some sort of formal written correspondence that expresses clearly what it is that's occurring. There's a good chance that the person creating the problem doesn't even know that it's having an impact on you. Whether it's hard surface flooring creating loud noises underfoot, or it's an actual sound system that's making it unreasonable. Some associations have house rules that limit the time of day that these things can occur. Others do not. It's important to be able to document and reflect on what's occurring in an effort to resolve it. Number 4, notify the board or management. We need to have as much data as possible, and we've got our own steps that we need to follow. So talking with us is a good first step. We'll issue a warning, follow that up with a notice and possibly a fine, but we need to know what you're experiencing in an effort to help resolve it for and with you. If those first 4 steps don't work, we now need to escalate the stage to mediation. We can find a mediator. There are free resources and paid resources. We can bring in an attorney. We can try and conduct it ourselves. But there is always a third party that can help assist, resolve, and mediate the dispute that's occurring between the two of you. And if that doesn't work, our final and last stage is litigation. Petitioning a local court for relief. We feel that something has occurred and therefore we need a response in a legal and litigious sense in order to get that. There are many details that fit into all of this, and it's not a one-size-fits-all dispute process. But again, I'd like to focus on that very first stage of escalation: diplomacy. Connect with your neighbors, communicate and talk with them. You live in close quarters, and it's important to be able to continue to do so. If you have any questions pertaining to this process or dispute and neighbor resolution problems in general, please feel free to give me a call. Oliver with Three Stripe Management, managing your property properly.